Hi folks, right, today we're going to go through one of the basics for you, okay? It's going to be a two-part video. First part will be building the rig, second part will be finishing it and tank testing it, okay? So today we're going to build something that's quite a very simple rig in fact, but one that a lot of people struggle to get the presentation right with, okay? So today we're going to build a simple inline PVA rig, okay, PVA bag rig. Again, some people struggle with it, others don't. Either way, we're going to help you along the way with this. So you're going to need an inline lead. You can use bag stems. There's lots of different makes out there. I personally just use inlines like that. Just how I work. You're going to need bait needle, uncoated braid, okay, uncoated braid, winner every time, putty, hook, puller tools and scissors. That is what you're going to need to build the actual rig. You will obviously need a PVA bag and PVA string or tape, boilie crumb, pellet, so on and so forth, whichever you're going to use to fill the bag, but that will be coming in the next part of the video. So next up, we'll get all this put together and build the rig together. Right, so we've got all our components. Here's what we're going to need to do. A common mistake that people make is they make their rigs too long for the PVA bag, okay? Or they use a stiff coated braid, things like that. I prefer personally to use an uncoated braid. So with that, I'm going to cut off 8 inches of uncoated braid, okay? And on one end, we're just going to put a very simple overhand knot. Just make a very simple loop. You might find your bait needle comes into its own here because it's just far less hassle. Okay, so there you are, a nice simple overhand loop. Okay, just trim that excess off. You want a good pair of scissors with braid, any type of braid, but uncoated braid especially, you want a really good pair of scissors. So I now want to fit my bait already. Okay, I love these. These are November's flavour of the month. It's the hemp and vanilla. These are the white hemp and vanilla pop-ups. Absolutely love them. Again, just in with a bait needle, onto that loop, pull it down in, grab your bait stop. And see, I'm using plastic bait stops for the purpose of the video. Anybody that knows me knows I will use, on the bank, I will use a piece of grass. I just don't like plastics going in the water, but for the purpose of the video, we're using a piece of plastic, okay, a plastic bait stop. So next up, I want to get my hook. These are the Fox short curves. You can use any hook you like, really. I just like these in my PVA bag. So just tidy up your braid so you can get it through. And it goes through the hook. And this is where you set your hair now, okay? So you can set the depth of your hair. I want mine about there, okay? Maybe a shadow more, there we go. And then just simple knotless knot. You already know how to do the knotless knot. puller tool and just snug that up like so. So that's how I want it. So next up, I want to put a loop so that I can loop it to my inline lead. Now, again, I want to make a large loop, figure of 8 knot, because you want your loop to be large enough that you can fit it over the hook and the hook bait. Okay, puller tool, just pull that tight. Again, trim off the excess. You really do need a good sharp pair of scissors with braid. Now that hook length there is about 3 to 3.5 inches long. Okay, it's not a massive hook length because I want it inside my PVA bag and I don't want big coils of line sticking up everywhere. And this is why we use uncoated braid, because it's so supple, you know, it will reset, it's just perfect. It's the stuff, it really is. If you want to, you can use a mono. I personally just prefer the uncoated braid. So then all you're doing, look, is you're just putting that loop you've just formed through the eye on the inline lead. Okay. Pass it over the hook bait, over the hook, pull it back through, and there it is. It's as simple as that. Okay. Because I'm using a pop-up, I will put a bit of putty because I don't want the whole thing riding up in the air. So we use a little tiny bit, just warm that through. I don't know what it's like where you are, but today it's absolutely freezing. So we're just going to put a little blob of putty on, just enough to quieten that down a bit. Because these pop-ups are incredibly buoyant. So there you are, a bit of putty on there. And that is that. Next up, on the next video, we'll show you how to load the bag, tie the bag, and we'll tank test it. But for now, thanks for watching. And remember, what goes on tour, stays on tour.